guys, I'm standing here today with my version of a Rubens tube, which is a fantastic way to visualize sound waves and wavelengths and frequencies. And by fantastic, I mean there's fire. The first of these gas flame tubes was invented in 1905 by a German physicist named Heinrich Rubens. And of course that's why these gas flame tubes are often called Rubens tubes. Heinrich Rubens was born in 1865 in Germany, and he started university in 1884 at the technical universities in Darmstadt and Berlin. He was originally interested in studying electrical engineering, but soon that turned over to physics, and he transferred to the University of Strasbourg. There he became fascinated with electromagnetic radiation, which had recently been described by James Clerk Maxwell. Most of his research in the years that followed involved studying electromagnetic radiation, developing new tools for detecting electromagnetic radiation, and using electromagnetic radiation to study different materials. He was one of the first to detect and study wavelengths in the infrared region of the spectrum, which also helped him with his study of blackbody radiation. One day he and his wife were invited to dinner by noted scientist Max Planck. The story goes that at dinner, Heinrich Rubens shared with Max Planck the results of his work with wavelengths around 50 to 60 micrometers. After the dinner, Max Planck went into his study and did some calculations and was able to derive a formula for this new radiation based on the quantization of energy. He wrote it all down on a postcard. Heinrich Rubens received it the next day and checked his measurements, and his new formula actually fit his measurements. He reported that back to Max Planck, who presented it a few weeks later, and that is considered the birthday of modern quantum physics. In 1900, Heinrich Rubens was promoted to professor, and he was well respected by all his students and his colleagues because of the care and accuracy of his work, but also the way he was able to present it in class and make it understandable. One of the things he did to help students visualize wavelengths and frequencies of sound waves was to build the first Rubens tube. He started with a tube of brass that was 8 meters long and about 8 centimeters wide, and he drilled 100 little holes in the top, about 3 centimeters apart from each other, and sealed up both ends. Once the tube was completed, it could be filled with coal gas, and the gas that would escape out the top could be lit on fire. He would then use tuning forks at one end to produce sound that would travel down the tube and create waveforms in the flames on top. My version is only about 2 meters long, and it's made out of this galvanized ductwork, and I've placed about 100 holes in the top. I have natural gas coming in the side in 2 locations. And then down here on this end, I'm not using a tuning fork, but I'm using a frequency generator or a speaker down on this end. Now that we've got it lit, let's start by playing a frequency. I'm starting here with a frequency of 630 hertz, and you can definitely see there's some wave patterns forming on top of the tube. And if I change the frequency, you'll see the wavelengths change as well. Watch. Now we're going to lower frequencies. Down to about 400 hertz. And back up again. And back down. So now I've changed my frequency to a higher frequency, and I don't know if you could see it in your field of view, but the waves actually got a little bit smaller. So the frequency got higher, but the wavelength got smaller. At a frequency of 660 hertz, I'm going to estimate my wave to be about 75 centimeters long. At 860 hertz, my wave I'm estimating to be only about 55 centimeters long. So a tube like this can be really helpful and really cool for visualizing sound waves and the wavelengths and frequencies that they create. It's also really cool for playing music. So thanks to the genius of Heinrich Rubens and his invention, the Rubens Tube, we can have a lot of fun visualizing sound waves.